Emotions like everything's the same. Pleasure and pain. Now I'm in a different form of pain.
GM, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, give me 2 minutes. I wanted to use my Android phone for women communication and use my other one, but there's an update on Android, FYI. Let me see. I'm going to cancel your co-host and re-invite you. Okay, I invited Emily. There we go. Hi, Emily. Twitter got updated today on Android. I didn't get a chance to use my other phone because it's taking forever to update. So, FYI, if you have any problems, go ahead and check on your Twitter app before we start and get an update. And again, we are live right now on YouTube, Facebook group, and I'm promoting on our Google Maps page also. So this will be exciting. So, good morning, Emily. And hi, Terry.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And I'm not sure if Jennifer is here or she's on the Twitter account of JWF_Palm Beach. I'm going to go ahead and invite to speak. Let's see. And while I'm waiting for Emily, yeah, she's going to have, yeah, she has Android. I discovered that the hard way. So we'll give a couple more minutes. I was just playing some music from some friends of mine that were playing, making NFT music. So we're just playing some music. But again, we're live right now. And I'm recording also because we're going to cut up the snippets to write a blog. And here's Emily. There we go. Hey, Emily.
Meet before. That was too weird. But hi, how are you, Tonya? How are you, Terry?
Happy Monday.
Hey, Emily.
I don't know why my internet every single Monday does this weird thing. Like, it's so strange.
I really think it's Twitter. I blame everything on Twitter update.
Agreed. No, actually, I do have an Android, so I probably should update it because until you just said that this morning, I did not notice that there was an update for Twitter. So I do need to do that, and I have not done that before our call today.
And my good friend Alberto is in here too. I'm gonna say hi to him, and so is Brent. So is Jessica here or is she
Jennifer is here. She's trying to.
I'm calling her Jessica. I'm so sorry, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, I'm having a moment here. I'm like talking to Jessica Godzorek. That's who I'm trying to reach out to, and then I'm thinking of Jennifer at the same time. Okay, thank you.
Yes, no, she's here. She's still a listener. So I don't know if you can add her as a speaker. I was trying to get her as a speaker as well there.
Let me see if I can make you a co-host and see so that you can handle some of, because my app is updated, so now I got to log back in. So I thought maybe you can, Terry can start our events with our Monday breathing and mindfulness exercise, and then we'll give you the mic, and then I'll take care of some stuff from behind the scene. And is this Jennifer? Yes, it is. I'll invite her to speak. There we go. And I'm dying to talk about the Oscar, but we'll talk about the Oscar offline.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. That's all we've been talking. Jennifer and I last night were talking about that too. All right. I have a funny story about that just while we're waiting to get started. But I have a friend who's a comic book writer whose name is Will Smith. And on Twitter, his name is Will Smith. And the actual Will Smith who was on the Oscars last night doesn't have that he's not on Twitter. But my friend whose name is Will Smith with a blue check verified has been getting slammed on Twitter left and right, day and night since the Oscars last night. So this poor comic book writer is just fielding all these tweets about punching somebody when he didn't do that. So
is this the Chris Rock situation?
I'm
my hubby and I were going, oh my God, did something happen? We don't watch his stuff, but I go on Twitter and I start reading off the trending tweets. That's how I report the news in my house, just in case you guys want to know.
I think I just made Jennifer a speaker as well, so she should be here. Hi, Jen.
Hi, I'm here.
Yay. Yeah, Twitter's, again, I think it's with that update this morning. Everything's just being a little glitchy, but that's all right. We'll update, get back on things.
So good morning, Jennifer. Before we start, we're going to go ahead and give the mic to our VP, Terry Michaels. She'll be doing our Monday mindfulness breathing exercise that we start our week out with. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, and I'm going to bring my other account up as a speaker. But Terry, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Tonya. Welcome, everyone. Everybody, relax where you are. Seated, laying down, however you're listening this morning. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Relax your face, your jaw, your neck. Another deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Feel the stress go down your shoulders, from your neck, your shoulders, down your arms, out through your fingertips. Relax your chest, your torso, your hips. Visualize the stress going down your legs and out through your toes. And you're completely relaxed. Breathe in love. Exhale peace. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Closing thoughts. The world lives and breathes, and we can draw spirit into us. Think rolling waves, warm sun, wet grass, fresh earth, birds singing. Get into all the sensations of life today. You don't need a lengthy meditation to connect to nature. Just draw it in. Another deep breath in. Exhale out. Namaste. May the divine in me honor the divine in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. That was lovely today.
You're welcome.
So, Tonya, I don't know if you want to introduce Jennifer, but I would be thrilled to today.
Can you do the introduction?
I would be so happy to. So today I am absolutely thrilled to have Jennifer Kryshka here with us for our Empower Yourself Monday. Jennifer is the CEO of the Jewish Women's Foundation of the Greater Palm Beaches. And in full disclosure, this is an organization that I absolutely love. I work with them doing their publicity and their marketing and social media. And their mission is to create long-lasting social change for women and girls. I'm going to let Jennifer speak about the different ways that they do that. But Jennifer joined JWF in 2014 as the Chief Program and Operations Officer. She became the Chief Executive Officer in 2019. She's been doing an absolutely incredible job since, really shaking up the organization, bringing a focus on women's financial literacy and economic empowerment, and working towards more equity and equality for all women and girls, both in Palm Beach County and beyond. She is on the Sisterhood Board at Congregation Kol Tikva. She currently co-chairs the Florida Women's Funding Alliance Steering Committee. And she's also a former board member of Planned Parenthood of Metropolitan Washington, D.C., and a former board chair of NARAL, which is Virginia's League of Young Leaders. She's also one of my very best friends in the whole entire world. I've known her 36 years. She's not just a phenomenal CEO, but she's an absolutely phenomenal human being overall who lives all of the things that she works towards at JWF as well. And I'm proud to introduce her today. So welcome, Jennifer. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Emily. Thanks for that wonderful introduction.
I would do it every day for you. So yeah, welcome to our Empower Yourself Monday. This is really where we have the chance to talk about you and to talk about all of the amazing things that JWF is working on these days.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate being invited to speak.
Absolutely. And I want to start just talking a bit. I mean, we just actually passed the annual fundraising event that JWF does. It's a gorgeous dinner at the Kravis, or luncheon rather, sorry, at the Kravis Center. It's called the Investing in Women Luncheon. And I want to start there because that was sort of the culmination of an annual campaign and some other things. So Jennifer, can you tell us a bit about the campaign that's still ongoing and investing in women, just really the focus for JWF right now?
Sure. So yes, we did just 2 weeks ago have our annual luncheon, which is intended to honor remarkable women leaders from the community, as well as showcase the work of JWF. So JWF's mission is to create long-lasting social change to advance the status of all women and girls in the United States and in Israel. So we are a funder, and we do provide grants to other nonprofits in the community who are aligned with our mission. We offer educational opportunities for the community, advocacy trainings, a professionals network to support local women business owners and professionals. And we also run 2 leadership development programs for high school students and for young women professionals.
And you also hold the Money Maven workshops, which are ongoing. So I want to tell everybody a little bit about that as well, because I think those are such important workshops.
Yeah, absolutely. So we recently decided to narrow our focus to something more specific beyond just social change for women and girls. And so our current focus through at least 2026 is economic security and empowerment for women and girls. And so one of the major topics that we felt was really important was supporting financial literacy for women. Because obviously, if you're not in control of your finances, it's really difficult to be in control of the direction of your life. And so beginning in October, we started with a monthly webinar series called Money Mavens. And every month we have a different facilitated webinar on a different topic within financial literacy. And so they started out, with a more basic topic around budgeting and savings. And then every month they've gotten progressively more sophisticated so that we can accommodate women who have different knowledge around finances. And so I believe our next webinar is going to be on philanthropy.
And that one is, let me see, wait, I know this answer.
I know it's in April. Of course, I don't have the
April 26th. Yes. So April 26th is Planning for Your Future, A Life by Design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet that out and pin it up. I'm gonna tweet it out and pin it up for us. So
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and so so the webinars are free. I did want to just make sure to point that out because we don't want cost to be a barrier to any woman getting the information that she needs.
And they're remote, so you can watch them from anywhere.
Correct.
And I will say, even myself, like I, in the very first webinar, I thought, oh, just basic financial stuff. I'll pop in, for the sake of social media, but I'm in my 40s. I know how to handle my money. And then I learned so much from every webinar that I have joined from there. So I feel like you're right. Like no matter what level you're at as far as investing, finances, saving money, budgeting, they're really great programs to join up in. And again, they're free. So those are really good ones. And they're led by local women in finance. So I always thought that was nice too. Different, just again, empowering other women and women supporting women.
Yes. It was important to us. The program was really a, for women by women kind of format. So all of the attorneys and financial experts are women.
I do love that. And you have another event. I'm just going to throw this out there for anybody who's in Palm Beach County. There's a women's after hours social tomorrow night as well. So if you're interested in coming to an in-person event and meeting some of the women of JWF and getting involved, you can join them there as well at 5:30 tomorrow night. And we can pin that up also, Tonya. But that's in the West Palm Beach area, and that's the after hour social, which is always fun.
Yes. And we're partnering with a few other women's organizations in the community, which we often like to do.
I love that. And I will say, I mean, for any women who may be in Palm Beach and interested in going, they're a really nice group of women. I myself am always like a little wary when you first show up for an organization, you don't know anybody and you're getting there and, it's a little awkward to join a networking meeting first off. Everybody there is so friendly. They're very welcoming. For sure, somebody will come up and talk to you and just bring you into the group. So it's something I've always really admired about the women of JWF.
Yes, and that will probably be me. So if you want to attend tomorrow, just come find me and I will introduce myself, and then I'm happy to make introductions with other women who are attending. So we never want anyone to feel uncomfortable when they come to a networking event.
And probably a good idea to mention also, it's not just for Jewish women. So it's all women who want to get involved.
That is correct. Our organization in no way is exclusive to the Jewish community. We are working to create social change on behalf of all women and girls, irrespective of their faith, their culture, etc. So yes, if you are just a woman who wants to support other women and learn more about what we're doing, then I highly encourage any woman to come check us out tomorrow.
Awesome. And so going back to you as well for a moment, how did you get started? Like, let's talk about your story and how you got started in JWF or just working towards social change for women in general.
Sure. Yeah, it's been a long road. I've always identified as a feminist. I think, since I was even like pretty young, like I would say maybe even as early like as middle school or high school. And so when I was in college, I was really active I went to UCF and I was really active in our campus feminist organization, which I actually co-founded with a good friend of mine. And that was pretty much the beginning for me. So I have always worked in the nonprofit world, but have always been a volunteer with Planned Parenthood, like you mentioned, and other women's organizations, just because it has always been a passion of mine. And so I was lucky to get connected to JWF through a good friend of mine, Judith Stelzer, who was actually also a a member of our organization. And I was living in the DC area for about 6 years. And then I, was looking to come back to Florida, which is, where I'm from. And she connected me to the previous director, and that was almost 8 years ago. So so it's been pretty amazing to be with the organization. I love the women so much. And I, was honored to move into the role as CEO a little over 3 years ago. So it's by far my favorite job. I love the organization so much, and I'm very passionate about the mission, and the women who are involved with us are just so incredibly bright and passionate and committed to the mission. And they are involved with us because they care very deeply about wanting to be hands-on in helping us to actualize the mission.
I love hearing that. This is Tonya, by the way. I wanted to Jennifer. I actually I'm from Orlando, so when I read your resume, I was just your bio. I was just like, wow, she went to UCF. Tell us about that.
It's so nice.
Because I it's really hard to finish college at UCF. That's why we call it University Can't Finish. I tried to, but I couldn't. So you must be very committed, and I wanted to chat with you a little bit about that as far as how was your experience at UCF, because I grew up in Orlando, so that's why I was excited to hear that you went to UCF.
Yeah, I have to say that I really did love UCF, and I loved college so much, and I learned a lot about myself and about the things that I was passionate about. So yeah, no, it was a really good experience. Of course, it was very different, 20 years ago when I graduated from college than it is right now. But yeah, it was definitely a really amazing experience that had a huge impact on the direction, that I've taken.
Yeah, I love watching my hometown grow as much as it has, and so many incredible people have graduated and gone on to do some great things. And then so when I was reading your bio, I was really impressed with all of the committee that you're involved in, and also how committed you are. Oh my gosh, I mean, if you think about it, 17 years, that's like almost 2 decades. Tell us about that. That's a lot of commitment. I mean, once did you, I mean, when you were younger, did you some people wanted to be like, I want to be a fashion designer, but I didn't end up doing that, but I wanted to do that. But where were you like when you were younger? Did you know what the direction you're going to be in, or did you have other dreams? Like maybe you want to be a lawyer?
That's a good question. No. It's funny when I was a kid, no, I never had like any specific aspiration, like a lot of other kids were like, I'll be a fighter or whatever. But no, I definitely did not have a specific focus in mind. I don't really think, honestly, I thought that much about it until I actually was already in college. And I knew that I really wanted to do something that was meaningful, where, I would be able to, one, be in a position to make an impact for other people, and also do something that was going to be, intellectually gratifying for me. But I didn't really have any specific idea of what I wanted to do. So I studied philosophy and literature, and then I had a minor in women's studies. And so I did actually go to law school for a year, but it really wasn't the right fit for me. And so I left, and, having been involved with social justice work, while I was in college, I knew that I wanted to do something like in that realm, but I still wasn't quite sure. And I ended up finding the nonprofit management program at FAU. And so, I got enrolled in that program. And while I was enrolled in the program, I started working for a nonprofit in Broward County. And that pretty much was when I figured out that that was, the right space for me, that like being in the nonprofit world was essentially like a professionalization of, being, I guess, I don't want to say being a volunteer, but like being able to put my like social justice passion, into action. So once I started with that, I stayed with it, and I love it, and I have never regretted, being on this path.
So, I mean, now we're living in the 21st century. So, with all this multimedia and with all your extensive background in non-profit, are we expecting a book coming up soon, or?
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
No, I don't know. It just came to me. That's why I was just wondering.
No, maybe someday. Certainly, I'm a big reader, so I of course have a deep respect for how impactful books can be. So maybe someday. I mean, for the time being, I'm going to do everything I can to move JWF forward into being, an even stronger organization than it already is. And of course, I'm also a mom, and I have 2 kids, and so my other time when I'm not working is, of course, trying to spend time with them. So so who knows, what the future will hold. I think it's important to have goals and to have a vision, but also to be open to doing things month by month, let's say, because I feel like a lot of the opportunity that I've been lucky enough to have has really just been fortuitous, right? Like sometimes you just get lucky and you fall into positive circumstances. And so I try not to plan too much what happens in the future, just because I want to be open to whatever opportunity presents itself to me.
I love that. Yeah, well, I totally understand what you're saying, and I'm just thinking because like Emily wrote a book during the, so I figured, you know what, you guys are best friends. I'm sure she'll push you to write a book.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, growing up, Jennifer and I used to write books together, and one would write, one would illustrate, and we wrote all kinds of books when we were younger. So maybe we'll collab, Jen, and we'll have to.
My God, I know it's true.
They can make an NFT out of it, see, and then you can donate it to your number one for proceeds. That's NFT, your book.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So yes, you never know. And Emily and I really do love working together. We're always trying to find ways to collaborate on some kind of project. So Emily, maybe that's our next step together.
We're going to add it to our next agenda. You never know. That could be a thing. I keep telling her also, Tonya, that I really think there should be a JWF podcast, or for a long time, they were doing a great vlog, like a video on YouTube, a series. Jen, are you going to be launching that again next year, like Impact Tuesdays? Will that be coming back at all? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely are going to be moving back to having webinars, to highlight different aspects of our work.
Yeah, because the Impact Tuesday webinars were so phenomenal. It was just really focusing on different grantee organizations that they've worked with JWF and different women in the community who are really empowering. And similar to what we do here, just a very conversational interview and discussion. But really, it was a great look into some of these organizations that maybe people hadn't either known existed or hadn't gone in depth to learn about before. So Impact Tuesday was always a great one. And again, that could always be turned into a Twitter Spaces or a podcast. So that's what I'm angling for you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's going to be so much easier, Jennifer. I literally, we do it every Monday, and this 1 hour, 60 minutes will give us 10 video snippets that would times 5 or 6 of our social network. That's 30 URL for 1 60-minute Twitter Spaces. And the snippets are really just 5 to 10 minutes, 3 minutes, max is 10 minutes as long as it gets for. And it's, it's also bookmarked on all the bookmarking sites too. So it's spread everywhere a lot quicker. Instead of people listening for a 60-minute segment, they listen to a little small segment. If they want to continue listening, they can either, I right now I wrote a blog about it already. So they go to our website, and when it's all done, they literally click the link, it opens up, and they hear one part of the segment, then another part. So by the time they're done, the 60-minute, they won't be listening for 60 minutes because no one has that much time to sit. So they'll sit and stop. So it's doing really well for us as far as the analytics and people coming back to the website and having conversation about it. So you guys should take a look at it. It's less work actually, just doing the streaming on. And right now, this space is being shared already, so it's already recorded everywhere. And then now I just go in and cut up the snippets, and that's it.
Yeah, no, it is a recognition. It has definitely been encouraging us to do that. So it's something that we are very seriously looking into.
Yeah, I was actually really excited to have her on today because typically I am the one who's on like the JWF Twitter, but Jennifer stays pretty active behind the scenes with all of it. So it's nice to get her on Twitter today and actually like interacting within it. We're going to do that more and more. I'm psyched. Bring you into my world a little bit here, Jen.
I know, God, I know. I've been so reluctant with social media, for a variety of reasons. So I kind of, I mean, I guess in part that's why we have Emily and her team, so she makes sure that JWF is covered pretty heavily on social, and they do such a good job. So I am, slowly coming to accept the fact that probably if I were, to be less behind the scenes and more, out front on social, that it could be, really like positive for JWF. So I will have to start doing more of that.
Absolutely. No, we'll get you in here slowly but surely.
I know. If anyone can do it, it'll be you.
Yes.
I know, like, you guys did during the pandemic, you hosted an incredible event, fundraiser. And Emily, like, last year, was it last year that I submitted to national for your event as one of the best virtual events? Was it last year or was it the year before? I don't know. The year's gone by quickly.
You are correct. That was last year, and that was actually this year was the second annual Investing in Women Luncheon. Last year was the first, and we did it virtually, fully remote for JWF, and that was the one that we submitted for, I believe, the Clarion Award, one of the awards last year, because that event was so well executed, and Jennifer really did put her all into that, because that was the first year that the luncheons for JWF had gone virtual, as for many other companies that had to do the same over the pandemic. And it was, I mean, we patched it. Well, Jennifer, I can let you tell them about it as well.
Yes. I mean, so obviously, like everyone else with COVID, it was either, I think, an opportunity or a nightmare. And so we really tried to do our best to embrace, like whatever we could to keep moving forward. And so normally we have an annual luncheon, but for that year in particular, we decided to move to a virtual cocktail celebration. And so we did work with Emily a lot. They really helped us secure a production company to handle all of the actual streaming, because obviously that requires a set of expertise that we don't have and a lot of other technical needs. And so they did a really amazing job. And so we essentially were able to highlight the organizations that we were funding and some of our other programs. And we had Sandra Bernhardt as our, I guess you could say, our entertainment for the evening. And she was, of course, very funny. And we were able to send out these wonderful VIP boxes to many of our guests that had a specialty cocktail designed just for the event, so they could enjoy a cocktail from home while they were watching our event. And I have to say, it was the first time we ever did anything on that scale. And we, of course, were nervous about it up front, but it went seamlessly for the most part, and it was really well done. And everyone had such a good time. We kept it to just an hour so that we wouldn't, be overkill with people. And it was so fun. It was really successful. And I think it gave us the confidence to move forward with other virtual events. So definitely very positive. Emily and her team, huge help into making it successful.
Well, thank you. It was, of course, our pleasure. We loved that event, and we loved investing in women this year and all of your luncheons. But I really do think actually the remote luncheon gave a really unique opportunity for visibility for sponsors and just different other organizations, like, the grantees and the organizations that you work with, to put their videos in and really like interact and engage, which is what we love about virtual communications overall, because it opens up the platform for everybody. So, and that's what we like with Twitter Spaces also. We see so many people. We have Andrea and Kristen and Denise and Brent and everyone here listening today, and able to request the mic and ask a question if they have one, and really engage and interact. And so, I think just seeing the way that investing in women in the luncheon itself has evolved from when we first started working with you to now and to this year, seeing how the organization has evolved. It's been fascinating to see what you've done as CEO there and how you've changed things, and in such a positive way. And I want to talk a bit about what's coming next as well with JWF, because you have a lot upcoming.
We always do. Yeah. Yeah, we do. So, I mean, so this season, of course, is, coming to an end in May. So we do work within the season just because so many people, of course, are only part-time residents. And so in the summertime, we pretty much switch mostly to like social mode. And we do a lot of happy hours just to bring people together in the summertime to have a good time. So this coming season, starting in the fall, we of course will do Money Mavens again. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary. So we're really excited about that. And we will have a special 20th anniversary annual campaign to help, raise funds to keep the organization going and expanding. So we definitely do have a lot of things coming. I don't know, Emily, if there's anything in particular that you want me to highlight, but we will of course have webinars again moving forward to keep the community and anyone else who wants to watch educated about the organizations that we're funding, and also just like what the pressing issues are for women and girls in our community and beyond. We definitely will resume with our elected official panel discussions, which we always do pretty much twice a season. So there's a pre-legislative session and a post-legislative session panel discussion with elected officials where we talk about specifically, bills and activities happening within the state of Florida that are impacting women and girls, and give people an opportunity to ask questions directly of elected officials. Of course, we will have a campaign kickoff, which will be in November, and then our annual luncheon will be again held in March at the Kravis Center. And actually, for next season, our luncheon will be held on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. So we're really excited about doing it on that date.
I'm really excited about you doing it on that date. That makes my PR easier too. No,
Yeah.
But I will say, yeah, as I said, you have so much that's coming on with that. I think the panel is going to be interesting this year with a lot of the legislation that is passed or things that are going on here in Florida that have been in the news recently, affecting women and girls and the LGBTQ community, and just so much here in Florida. Yeah. So I certainly think that's going to be an interesting one to attend and listen in on. And again, everything that JWF does, we try to stream or put a video up after the event so that you can take part in all of that remotely also.
Yes, absolutely. We do have our YouTube channel, and we try to record as much as we can so that people can watch things, later on if they're unable to watch them live.
It'd be cool if you live stream it onto your social network.
Yes, no, absolutely. So we did, so for this year, we actually did live stream our annual luncheon for the first time. So we probably will continue to do that moving forward, just so that it gives people who are unable to attend in person or who want to attend, maybe who don't live, in the local area, to feel like they're part of the event. So yeah, we definitely will want to do that as much as we can. Yeah, just again to to kind of be able to include as many people as possible. So
So it's about 10:40. If anyone in the audience would like to join in, grab the mic, go ahead and take the opportunity to ask Jennifer some questions and find out a little bit more about what we do here in South Florida in Palm Beach County. So you're welcome to go ahead and grab the mic.
And while we're waiting to see if anybody has some questions there, I just wanted to mention also, Jennifer, if you can talk a bit about No Small Change, because I think that's one of the programs that's really unique to JWF.
Sure. Yeah, I would love to talk about No Small Change. So No Small Change is one of two next gen leadership development programs that we created about, I want to say, 6 years ago, I believe. So No Small Change is a program that is co-ed, and it is for high school students, 9th through 12th grade. And the goal of the program is to teach the teens about Jewish values and giving. We teach them about fundraising. We teach them about various leadership skills. So we start the program off usually in August, after the first week of school has begun, and we do a like a weekend retreat with them at a hotel, so that the group can get to know each other and to really like do some deeper dive into some of the more complex topics. Like we talk about gender, and we talk about sex, and we talk about sexism, and how girls are treated, and of course, we talk about the boys and sort of their perspective on that, and how they can be allies and things like that. And then the program meets once a month after that on a Sunday afternoon for a different topic. And so the fundraising, we like to teach them because we think that's a transferable skill, and just because we want to encourage them to be philanthropic throughout the rest of their lives. And a crucial part of the program is the giving circle. So the teens have to fundraise at least $250 for each of them, and usually about 20 teens in the program. And they are raising this $250 to go towards the giving circle part of the program. And so the teens will come up with like their own mission and decide what kind of project or projects they're interested in funding. And once they decide that, they are out there doing research on different organizations that they are interested in. They come together as a group for several meetings to discuss the organizations and to decide, which ones they should eliminate. And then towards the end of the program, they come down to, let's say, 4 or 5 organizations that they are interested in, and they conduct interviews. It's entirely led by the teens. The staff doesn't really get involved, except maybe to act as a guide. And so the teens come up with the questions, and they interview the organizations about the work that they do and their projects and their budget and all of that. And then at the last Giving Circle meeting, the teens collectively decide, which 1 or 2 organizations they want to give their money to. And historically, we've had a really generous set of donors who have contributed specifically to this program. And so that allows us to give the teens usually $10,000 as their base grant making money. And so in previous years, the teens have been able to give away, $22,000 to do different organizations. And it's such a meaningful experience for the teens to be able to go through that process, and then to see what kind of impact you can have with philanthropic dollars. So, volunteering, of course, very meaningful, but this gives the teens an opportunity to really see, how important it is to financially support organizations that are doing really amazing work. So we are very, very proud of this particular program. And I know, because I have a relationship with some of the teens who've graduated, that they have continued on their volunteering, their social justice work, and that they do continue to raise money for other organizations. So super, super proud of that.
I love that. And that's definitely one
That's
of my
great.
favorite programs too. I think that's again, it's one of the very few co-ed teen programs focused on philanthropy, not just in Florida, but just in the United States. And I always say, I think that's one of the best programs that you guys have put together for the younger generation to show them the importance of philanthropy overall. So kudos. And I know, Brent, you had a question for Jennifer, so you've got the mic. We'll go ahead and give that over to you.
Well, first off, I always enjoy this Empower Yourself Monday space. And morning to Emily, Tonya, and Terry, and Jennifer. My question is, have you at the JWF thought of doing a webinar on disability and accessibility?
That is a good question. So we actually have discussed it internally. So I mean, I'm certainly open to suggestions if you have an idea of how we would talk about that as it's directly related to our mission. Since we are focused on economic security and empowerment for women and girls, all of the webinars and education that we're doing is directly tied to that particular topic. So I'm certainly open to suggestions if you think that there is something important around the gender piece that we, could incorporate into a discussion around disability.
Well, I could think about the financial aspect of if you're wanting to educating people on what's out there for disability people to get funding and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good suggestion and something that I will take back to my team and to my board and see, how we could incorporate that into what we're already doing.
If you would like to collaborate some more with me, feel free to follow me and shoot me a DM.
Okay, wonderful. I really appreciate that offer. Thank you.
And Jennifer, if people do have suggestions or questions, what is the best email or the best way for them to get in contact with you as well? Where do they find you in JWF?
Sure. So if anyone would like to reach out to me personally, which I'm always happy for them to do, my email is jennifer@jwfpalmbeach.org. We do have a variety of social media. Emily, you probably know the addresses better than I do. But we are on, of course, Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, all of the usual places.
Absolutely. And it's JWF_Palm Beach on most of them. So JWF_Palm Beach, similar to what the Twitter is for Jennifer.
Right.
Absolutely. And I do think, it's interesting topics like disability and, looking at the disparity between, just what it is for women and what it is for men and what that looks like funding wise, and what I think that's the biggest thing in any topic, right? Is just there always is that disparity between men and women. And no matter what we're looking at, whether that's disabilities, whether we're looking at that when it comes to the workplace or higher education or anything. So I do think that the work that you're doing spreads across pretty much every topic, every industry, any topic we could touch on, really. There is a gender gap there.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yes, that is true, that no matter what topic you're talking about, there is a way to add what we call a gender lens to that, to basically what helps you to evaluate the way that men and women are impacted differently, by different institutions and different policies, and to find a way to improve equity within those spaces. So yes, absolutely. And our goal, of course, is not just to empower women and girls, but really to find equity within gender, period. Right. I mean, so men, of course, are impacted negatively in the same way that women are. It's just that it manifests itself differently. And we want all people to be able to be healthy, happy, successful, and to be able to live authentically to who they are without the constraints of expectations based on their sex or their gender.
I love that. I love that. And that's an important note to make. And I also think it's important to note that there are men involved in JWF, that there are groups, there's organizations that you support that are focused on men and boys as well. That it's not just a female organization with women as allies, men as allies also. When you go to the events, there are men who attend the events as well. So for those of you listening, again, if you are male and you're interested in supporting, go to the website, jwfpalmbeach.org. Take a look at the events, take a look at the programs, take a look at different ways you can get involved. We have 10 minutes left. So again, if anybody else has a question, please feel free to put a hand up and we'll hand you the mic. But I also want to mention, Jennifer, if you could talk a bit about becoming a GEM or a trustee and just how people can get involved.
Sure. Yes. All right. So I'm going to respond to a couple different things there. So one, if there are men who are interested in engaging with us, then we are looking at for next year, kind of reviving our, men as advocates and allies work. And so any men who are interested in learning more about that, certainly reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk to them. We are a membership-based organization and we do have two types of membership. So the first type of membership we have is called trustee membership. And it is a commitment of 3 years at $2,000 a year. And being a trustee allows you to engage and participate in any of the work that we do and all of the committees that we have. One of the, beloved aspects to our work is if you are a trustee, you are able to sit on the grants committee. Our grants committee essentially reads all of the proposals, the applications, they do the interviews for the organizations asking for money, and they get to decide what projects we fund, which is a very meaningful and fun experience and something that many of our members really love. The other type of membership that we have is called our GEM membership, and that stands for Give Every Month. We have two types of GEM members, same thing with trustees. So 40 and under each have a different membership level. But the GEM membership essentially requires that you decide to make a monthly sustaining gift. If you are 40 and under, it's $36 a month. And if you are over 40, it is $72 a month. And so it's just a recurring credit card donation every month. And you have access to all of our committees and events except for the grants committee, which is only available to trustees. But becoming a member really allows you to engage with the other members and engage in our work on a much deeper level. We have over 100 members currently, and we just have the most amazing women, honestly, that are involved with us. Really bright, really passionate women who really want to get involved and to do the work. And so if somebody was interested in engaging with us on a deeper level, I would certainly encourage membership or, follow up with me, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. The community events that we have are open to anyone who would like to participate in those. You do not have to be a member to participate in any of our education, advocacy events, and even our networking happy hours. So lots of ways to be involved with JWF.
Thank you. All right, so we've got about 8 minutes left. Again, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put a hand up and we will hand you the microphone. Other than that, I know, Jennifer, is there anything else that we haven't asked today that you would like to talk about things? Oh, wait, we do have a request. Steve, I'm going to go ahead and hand you that mic.
Yes, Steve's from Miami, by the way. He's from South Florida.
We got a local. Hey, Steve. All right, you should be able to. There you go. Hi.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi,
Isn't it
Steve.
beautiful down here in South Florida right now?
Okay, I don't think we should be
I'm
rubbing it into
sorry. I
people.
just, I didn't mean to
It's
do
beautiful
that.
here.
It's beautiful
I
everywhere,
think it's
isn't
a perfect day.
And listen, I really love what you guys are doing here with the JWF. In fact, we're going to be having a pretty robust education program here for frontline workers. Especially, I'm looking for an organization of women who can sit down and teach, our frontline workers, the women, especially the firefighters and police officers. I think it would be best teach them how to work in Web 3.0 and teach them the ability of being able to use, different venues and different organizations to enhance their education. Because I have girls, and women. As a matter of fact, my board that I have for the nonprofit, they're all women. I've worked with men my whole life, being a retired fire chief, and women can get stuff done. I mean, I'm being straight up, and I appreciate that,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah. And at the same time, I'm listening to what you guys offered. I would love to collaborate because we're going to have an audience, here around the first week of December. We're going to hold an event down here for 3 days. We're working on the artists right now. We're looking at Coral Gables to be the city. It's going to be 3-day music arts event. We have so far we have Common. We're working on Lauryn Hill right now, and Pharrell. We have their pianist and producer. So it's going to be really nice. It's right now we're in the incipient phase of trying to get everything together. So I'm trying to get teams of individuals like JWF. It seems to me like it would be a great organization to collaborate with the education piece. So please DM me. I'd love to collaborate somewhat.
Yeah,
Tonya too. I
yeah,
spoke with Tonya a
absolutely.
couple times too. So yeah, I just wanted to just say that, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, and keep it up. You're providing a great service, and please, let's talk.
Yes, thank you so much. I will definitely follow up with you.
Thank you,
And
Steve.
thank you so much, Steve. Your event sounds fascinating as well. Plus, I'm a huge Lauryn Hill fan, so that's exciting. But that sounds like an amazing event, and certainly through AWC, we'd love to talk to you about that too and see how we can collab. I know you've been talking to Tonya, but we'd love to discuss that further. And then we only have a few more minutes left. And Tamika, I just proved you to have the mic as well because I know you had a question for Jennifer.
So I didn't really have a question for Jennifer overall, other than I was drawn to this. Hello, everyone. My name's Tamika, and I was drawn to this by the words "Empower Yourself Monday." So I don't know if I missed any quotes or anything you guys said initially in the beginning. So I just wanted to chime in on that and ask the question. But definitely thank you for having that hashtag because it was a reminder for myself to do that, to empower myself today.
I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, that is important. Empower yourself every day. That's yes. But I think that's actually one of the reasons that we started this is because I don't think women often enough stop in their day and really think like, let me empower myself today. I'm going to talk myself up and use my voice and discuss the things that I've got going on. I feel like we almost have that, women overall have that imposter syndrome and we just don't do it enough. And so we started this to really give women the stage and the opportunity to use their voices and again, and empower themselves at least a week, if not every day.
Yes, I definitely think every day. Even when it's hard, I think it's really important just to remind yourself to be authentic and to trust that you know what you're capable of and not to let other people get in your way. And also, to not get in your own way. That is something I do see a lot, even with, really like amazing, brilliant people, right? Like we have a tendency to get in our own way. So I would encourage everyone to not get in their own way, and to just trust that you're doing the best that you can and, and that's enough.
That is so true. I have to tell myself every day to get out of my own way. I think that's the number one thing that I feel like a lot of us tend to overthink about different things, and sometimes we do have to get out of our own way and empower ourselves to believe that we could do what we say we're going to do, and empower ourselves to believe in what other people can do. So I feel that's incredible.
100%. And I think these weekly Twitter spaces are so important because it does give everybody an opportunity to kind of reflect on what you've done even just the last week, but what you've been doing recently and say like, yeah, I really did. Like, I did good. Doing well. I am enough. This is enough. There's only so much you can do every day, but those days add up to weeks, months, and years. And then you look back and you see how far you've come. So on the day to day, it always feels like the days are really short and the time isn't enough. But when you look back over everything, you really do see how all those little things each day add up. And I think, again, once a week, that reminder to talk about those things that we're doing and those things that will eventually compile and make those big changes is huge. And I see we have another request. We got just a minute left. So Camira's.
Yeah, I gave him the mic. Also, I want to say hi to Dr. J. She was our feature communicator of the week. I think she was our second or third. This is how our time has gone by so quickly. But hi, Dr. J. How are you? She's and make sure you guys check out her space too. She's an incredible communicator, and she hosts and in some very educational and very enlightened Twitter spaces, and especially for women. So again, her name is she goes by Dr. J Author, and great communicator to follow. And I want to say hi to Bob also. Hi, Bob. Thank you for being here. And Chazzy, he's here. He's from South Florida too, by the way. And of course, Amy. Hi, Amy. And Khaled, thank you for being here. And so we're going to go ahead and give the mic to Kimera. How are you?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, GM.
Yeah, hello everyone. I was trying to just be as a listener, but I couldn't stop to request a map because I was hearing Emily words and how powerful those kind of words you were saying now. And I feel identified 100%. For me, had been like a challenge when today, oh my God, I start thinking about my journey and it's crazy. It is so crazy. I don't know. I don't think I speak with you guys before. My name is Idamis. I'm from Venezuela. I'm the founder of Chimeras and STEM. And I have been a couple months around spaces, introducing myself, talking about my project. It's it's funny. Sometimes I think I don't know how or where I have been able to find a strong portion of me to keep going every day, every single day. To talk about a little bit myself, I'm from Venezuela, like I said, and in United States, based in Houston, Texas, since 6 years ago. And doctor and nurse graduated in my country, but for political reasons, I moved to this amazing country without English, without anything, with my daughter, 2 years old. And from scratch, I got a new career.
Hey, Kamira, before we, I'm gonna let you continue your thought, but I wanted to thank Jennifer because she had to go to another meeting, and I really appreciate her for being here.
Yes, please.
No worries. We're just, I wanted to say goodbye to Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jennifer. And we'll talk soon. Again, everybody, and Camiras, we'll be right back to you, but just check out jwfpalmbeach.org. Again, jwfpalmbeach.org. Check them out as JWF Palm Beach on all social media.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Jennifer. So, Kamira, the mic is yours, and I wanted to let you know, what's happening in Venezuela. I have so much empathy. This is Tonya Scholz. I'm the president. You can see I have the pink avatar background, but I have a co-host who is from Venezuela, and we do Twitter Spaces every Sunday, NFTs for a cause, and we feature not NFT projects that are helping or giving back and doing something for the community So, and he was just telling me more about Venezuela, and my heart aches every time he and I talks about what's going on in your country. So, again, we're going to go ahead and let you have the mic. Tell us your story, and then maybe we can we'll talk offline some more, and I'd love to hear more about you.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak here, because it's kind of, it's the title of the room is interesting. And like I said, I feel 100% identified with, because um, when I moved to this country, it was kind of hard for me first, because English is not my first language, right? I have started learning from scratch. And I was working in a hospital as an LBGN doctor, and I moved everything. I changed everything in my life: new cultures, new language, new country, new everything with my daughter. And when I came here the first time, I started working as a dishwasher in a hospital. Okay. And I remember it was kind of really, really hard time for me, because I was here alone with my daughter. So can you think about how difficult in the very beginning was? So studying, taking care of my daughter, working at the same time. And I just find something inside of me, literally telling you can do it, just keep going. And so I use an application to find some friends, some new people to start talking about my experience. And I met someone today, my husband. He is my husband today. He told me about a tech career. He told me about Cisco engineer careers. So I start a new career. Got my English for courses online, and I was able to start a new career in this country, which is amazing, right? And that's what Chimera is about. So because I realized, so why there's not 100 or multiple options available to people start over new tech careers, switching careers, because it's amazing. I mean, how can I do what I need to do to bring awareness for people, to let them know that they can do something else, right? Like I did. And it was because I met someone. So it needs to be in everywhere, right? I need to let people know that you don't need 100% of the time to have start a career in a university, law and student, the kind of stuff that sometimes is complicated. Sometimes people cannot pay for career. So through a boot camps like I did, you can start learning something else. So I use the CBT Nuggets platform. There's another auctions, A&E, so another platform where you can get certificates. And after a couple of months, I would like to say, if you put the time on, after 4 or 5 months, you can start applying and do some job interviews and get a new job, which is amazing. So we are providing awareness. We want to dedicate um, our funds to help people with access more than 6,000 courses online. So through those courses, through those online, you can start or switching career. You can do something else, which is better, right? Definitely something we are so excited about it. And definitely we as a human, I think if we have the right tools in our hands, we can do something better for sure. So I'm so excited about it.
Thank you for stopping by and sharing with us. I know you're following. You and I follow each other. I'm no aging on my other account, but let's talk some more in our DM and see, because we had the Boss Girls on here too. They're actually were our first Empower Yourself Monday episode 1. Actually, they were our first one that we featured. God, it's been 3 months, Emily and Terry. I was like, oh my God, we're on episode 12 today. So let's talk offline, and I really appreciate you sharing your story. And yeah, that is definitely an empower yourself story, because again, I can imagine, I myself personally came over here when I was 8 years old, and my mother, we went through our own struggle, and And that was in 1975. So, I when I hear any story of any woman going through what they have to, my mom came over here as a single mom with 4 kids. So I can imagine what you went through, and the fact that you're here today sharing your story and also your NFT project. So let's talk offline. I'd love to feature you on one of my projects, on my other spaces, and maybe do something with you on Empower Yourself Monday and feature you too. So, and again, thank you for just, grabbing the mic and sharing us your story. That's the most important part. You showed up and you shared your story, and we love it. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me. It's not easy for me. I'm still learning English. It's not that easy. My English is very focuses on IT career,
Oh,
but
you
yeah,
sound
here I
perfect.
am.
Stop. You sound perfect. You sound perfect.
Thank you.
So, ladies, Emily, Terry, we have our board meeting this Wednesday. Our meeting consists of lunch. That's what food is important for us. So we can talk about our
Yay.
food.
I
And
look forward to that.
yes, and then Terry, we have Andrea Hammer next Monday on Empower Yourself, episode 13.
Yep. She was on the show today listening.
Yeah, I saw her. I was going to do a shout out to her, but she we didn't get it was such a good conversation. I didn't get a chance to give her a
I
shout
know.
out, but
That's fine. That's fine.
she'll be back next week with us at 10 a.m. And again, everyone, thank you so much. And if you know and someone that you feel that we need to inspire or need to share their stories about, it'd be Empower Yourself Monday. And again, you can email us at info@awc South Florida SOUTHFLORIDA.org. And again, my name is Tonya Scholz. I am the president of Women Communication South Florida chapter. And Emily Taffel, who is here, she is our communication director. If you have any exciting news you want to share with us, she's definitely the person you need to contact. And my VP, my right hand, Terry Michaels. Thank you so much for your incredible mindfulness breathing. I think
You're
it
welcome.
literally woke me up, by the way.
Oh, good. Get back into nature, everybody. Outside. Breathe.
Breathe, everyone. Thank you so much and appreciate you guys for being here. And again, have an awesome day, everybody. Bye.
Thank you,
Love you.
Tonya.
Bye.
Bye.